Is it off your camera?
That's what it is, the same way.
Okay, live again in 5, 4, 3. Hey everybody, welcome back to today's Fixed Ops Strategies webcast panel discussion. I'm Ryan Girardi. Today is Tuesday, February 25th. This is a redo. I just finished going solo, talking about the future of the service department and providing a recap of my time last weekend at NADA. So if you want to hear what I had to say and get that recap, be sure to grab the link to the Fix Op Strategies recording session from earlier. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to pick right up into warranty reimbursement. I have Thomas Hall and Lumena Litz here with me on camera as well, dialed in from Boca Raton, right, Florida?
West Palm, close.
West Palm, very close, very close. And I told you it's my old stomping grounds. I grew up in the Palm Beach County area. So we had a big learning experience just now, the three of us, pertaining to the confusion. So in the session I just did, I said, I swear I had a couple of panelists lined up to talk about warranty reimbursement, and then they weren't there. So, and now we all understand why and where that breakdown went. But that's on me, but we're here and we're going to spend the next 10 to 15 minutes here talking about warranty reimbursement. But before we do, why don't you give us a recap? I know that I was with you Saturday and Sunday for a few different hours at the booth doing interviews, but outside of, my world with you guys, how was NADA for you? Give us the lowdown.
Oh, it was really well. I mean, it was nice meeting all the candidates actually that you brought by. We got to see some of our clients that we're currently, working with now. We've got a couple leads on people that we, would get in the future. So I'd say pretty successful for us.
And what was the high score for the basketball shootout?
89.
So 84 got beat.
Yeah, it was 89, then 86, then like 60 or 84, then 68 behind that. So luckily a general manager for a store and another service manager won first and second place. So they were exciting.
That's awesome. Did you get photos of the winners?
Both of them were gone the last day.
Okay.
So we usually like to do that, but unfortunately they were already gone. That day 3, they would get out of there pretty quick.
We'll have to get them on here to a fixed op session and award them their prizes. And I think you gave away an Apple an Apple Watch.
Yeah, an Apple Watch and a Fitbit Versa.
Okay. All right. Well, what I just shared in the previously recorded session was some of the themes that came up in the conversations. One being the shortage of service technicians. I found it very fascinating how of the dealers we spoke with, John, Don, and Ed, all of them had a strategy in place to work with their local schools to help bring awareness to that and develop new talent into the system for automotive technicians. And then, some of the other themes that came up was how the service departments are evolving and how mobility as a service is impacting that. But then obviously a lot of the conversations were around warranty and reimbursement, which I know is where you guys come into play. So I'll let you guys take the lead on this segment, but why don't you give us the overview of what warranty reimbursement is, why dealers need it, and I'll throw some questions at you along the way.
Well, first thing, why dealers need it is because they're really entitled to receive it. And there's lost money, low-hanging fruit, if you will, because currently they do the warranty work on the cars today. And legally, they're entitled to be compensated, equal to what they charge a customer. And some stores know it, some don't. It's, can be a little bit laborious to, get that job done, but the dealer is really entitled to getting compensated at his customer pay rate, which is different from the manufacturer rate. So that's the benefit to the dealer, doing the same thing, getting paid better and more, which allows him to reinvest into the dealership. That additional money, they put it into training, into the programs you're talking about for technicians, trying to acquire, new tools, even just a, refresher of whatever they may need, or that extra money puts back to the company.
Now, Lamena, you're founder of QB Business Solutions. Thomas, you head up more in the sales side of things, right?
Yeah, retail before, correct.
Okay, so maybe from when you approach a dealer, about warranty and reimbursement, what's your starting point with them? What's that conversation sound like?
For the most part, we talk about the lost revenue opportunity, because that's really what it boils right down to. They still have to have all their compliance in place. None of their practices really change for the most part. It's just a matter of getting reimbursed $150 or $100 per hour. So we start that conversation by asking them, are they, one, aware of it? And sometimes most of them will say yes, but two, then if they say no, then we'll explain to them what that process means, and that is to bridge that gap. And then three, how do they go about doing it? Some stores do it okay by themselves, they get a little bit of the money, but there are a lot of, legal jargon you must understand, because each state is different. So that presents a challenge all by itself. Then each manufacturer interprets that state language differently as well. So there's a lot to that conversation that we try to keep simple. Just, it's really about getting them reimbursed at a better rate.
I think she said it just, it's lost revenue and profit that should already be, that is already be entitled to, that they're just either not aware of or don't know how to do it. So that starts a good conversation up of, we're able to do a free projection for them and say, listen, you are able to get another $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 for your labor and parts. Are you aware of that? And all the questions are, or a lot of their comments are, no, I had no idea about that. And, let me show you how to do it.
Why is it that that dealers would not know that they're entitled to this revenue?
The laws have changed drastically over the last 5-10 years. They still continue to drive today. So a lot of that is just awareness of, knowing that, I didn't know I could do that, or I didn't know if I was able to be compensated at. That's probably the largest one.
But it's not like it's not a new, you used the word entitlement.
Yeah, it's not a new process at all. It's just really getting the word out there and making sure that they're able to, go through the process. Like Lamena said, it's very laborious. It is definitely a lot of legal information there, and knowing by brand. Every brand is different in every state. So the complexities are very high to actually get it done or get it completed accurately and, profitably.
Anybody can get a little bit of money, but not a lot of money. There's a difference in understanding what Thomas is talking about, the complexity of it. So, it's challenging for the stores to even do it, because they're so strapped with time management. Service manager would have to literally work 100 extra hours to even try to get it done.
Is a dealer inclined to not pursue the lost revenue because of that hassle, and they're just like, yeah, it's not worth it?
No, it's always worth it. I mean, I don't know any owner of any company that would walk away from $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 increase. It's always worth it.
Yeah.
It's just their awareness of it, and there's a false sense of, is there any kind of retaliatory action from the manufacturer? There really isn't. In the last decade, the states have come a long way. The automotive dealers associations have supported their dealer body, and it has just been an understanding of the process and their eligibility.
I think just to answer that question more from what you were just saying is, the dealers, they don't know what they don't know. So they might be thinking $1 increase, a few percentages increase. So they don't really understand the full gamut of how many hundreds of thousands of dollars it could be until we're able to show them that.
And I think, just to clarify something that you've said, you said hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, I mean, we're looking at in a year's time, a dealer should be able to
annually, right? Annually, our average and our information, we range anywhere from 100,000 to 400,000 annually.
Okay. All right. Let's get a little bit into the process, what the process itself looks like, what a dealer can expect. How does the process start with you guys?
A lot of that starts with a consultative approach because we want to make sure the dealership's business practices are lined up and they're in place, which is very important for everybody, the customer, the dealership. So we'll take that consultative approach. We'll work through what's your business model look like, what's a good best practice, and we'll start to, take it from there, and then just kind of like design what is best for them and how they look to the manufacturer, and put their numbers together.
What would be some differences from, because you say, what your business model looks like, what would be some differences from dealer to dealer that are not universal?
Well, no two stores are the same. No two people are the same. They all have their individual characteristics. So it could be anything from repair order documentation to,
The employee issues,
correct.
Service advisors, staffing. I mean, there is a range of everything that could change in a different store. And we see it, every store is differently. I wish there was two stores that were the same, but unfortunately you could be right across the street and be a very different.
Okay, so you guys have a process to kind of get to know that uniqueness of the dealership, and then you start putting together an action plan with them?
Yeah, I mean, we do, it's more of a consulting approach from our side. We do a lot of processes that allow us to look at ROs and information and be able to, navigate what's best for the store, what it looks like, even bring some, learnings up to the store that may not be aware of because of being so busy, not being able to look at information at the same level we look at it.
In addition to that, it's not all just warranty. The retail, paperwork is, like Thomas said, nobody looks at it all the time. This brings light to a lot of different financial opportunities. The whole operations of parts and service.
Say that last part again, Lamena.
It gives light to the whole operation to parts and service. It's not just warranty, it's customer pay, it's all of their entire operation.
I mean, when we look at it, Ryan, we can obviously give feedback around, they tell us that, for an example, you have an alignment machine. We don't see a lot of alignments. It might be something you want to work on. It's just, again, it's just simple as that as consultation is, listen, you do a lot of warranty or menu items, but I don't see a lot of major repairs. Is that town, just really focused on that, or the dealership? So it just helps the stores, not just with the reimbursement, like Amanda said, but really overall entire operations. We're really focused on the entire operations of the service department and parts department.
And when you first start working with the dealership on their reimbursements, how far back are you going, that they're entitled to reimbursements for?
Well, all reimbursements actually start from whenever they would get approved. So it's nothing backwards. It actually starts from the day they get approved. It does vary by law. Some laws are, 180 days. You have to look back at information. They do vary state by state, but the submission and all the process actually starts from when it gets approved going forward.
What would keep a dealer from not getting approved?
Nothing with us.
Yeah.
It's never happened.
We've never had that issue, but we have heard from other stores that just the documentation, like I said, it's very arduous, very tough to navigate. They didn't fill out things right. It wasn't done correctly. Tickets that were provided were just not the right tickets. I mean, you can probably list out 50 things, unfortunately.
Okay. Is this all a paper process or is some of it electronic?
Yeah, it's probably half and half.
Okay. So time frame, what's a dealer, are we talking working with you for 3 months before they see a reimbursement, or 1 month or 6 months?
Well, all dealerships are different sizes, obviously. The laws dictate basically how many tickets and these things that you require. So a dealership could easily be done in 30 days and depending on the law, get paid in 30 to 45 days. Dealerships a little bit smaller might take 60 to 90 days and they get paid 30. So I would say realistically 45 days to 120, depending on the volume and payment.
And everything's the dealer's got to provide a lot of documentation and all the information, and it's got to be processed. So, like Thomas said, it's arduous.
Say that again, because the audio is not coming through very well.
I said, just like Thomas said, it's arduous. So there's, the dealers have got to print the documentation to send to the manufacturer. So that's where your time comes in, and then of course, having to review everything. The manufacturer, we look at every single repair work, every single job.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of human eyes looking on it. It's not just a analytical, view. It's an actual hands-on invoice by invoice by invoice.
Yeah. Like you said, very laborious.
Very.
A lot of detail in there.
Yes.
Okay, so you'll come in, work with the dealership for a few months, and get this approval process. You'll just kind of get this process rolling for them. Then their reimbursements start kicking in, and at that point, do you disappear from their routine, or does it evolve into something else?
So what we do is we don't disappear. It is definitely not as much communication because we're communicating once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week sometimes during the process. We have checkups every 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, just to go back because we offer different services. Once they get their money, we want to make sure they keep the money that they have. And a lot of people want to look at, how do I make sure that I'm still compliant? How do I make sure I'm still good? So we offer different services just to go back and look at their tickets, not to submit again, but basically a review called a warranty rate review, just to make sure they're good. It gives them peace of mind that they're doing right. They're on the right track. So that's very helpful for them on the way.
Okay. Now, just to emphasize something that you've, I think, pointed to a couple of times, laws vary from state to state. So you guys have to know those differences from state to state, obviously, and then educate your dealer on that. So there is a bit of a learning process from dealer to dealer to learn those laws.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, just and not only just for the dealers, but we have a team, obviously, including ourselves, we're always looking at the laws, what's changed, just so we're on top of everything. Things can change just by a word and make major changes. So, we're really on top of what legally is right and wrong.
Okay, great. So I don't think anything else that maybe I didn't think to ask you? I don't know what I don't know, right? So,
right.
Or do you feel like we kind of covered, the basis from a dealer's perspective?
I do. Like we said, dealers don't know what they don't know. They shouldn't fear getting their increase because it's something they're really entitled to. And in the last 10 to 12 years, the manufacturers have, come to understand that this is something that is the norm.
Yeah.
It's not the abnorm. It's more of a time constraint for dealers than anything else.
Right. Well,
and
cool.
Marks managers don't have time to, know laws or what is the law or how it's interpreted.
Or even where to find it, to be honest.
Oh yeah, even that.
It's very difficult to find some of these laws.
Oh, is it? Where do you look?
All over.
Well, we have some, staff on hand that has legal background that helps. You've got to have some good people in place.
Any reason a dealer would not want to pursue a reimbursement process?
No.
Okay.
None.
All right. So there you go, folks. You need to, if this is something you procrastinated or didn't even know about, which it sounds like most dealers know there's a reimbursement process, whether you take advantage of it is a different story.
Yeah.
They don't know really how much money they're losing. That's the problem.
Yeah. Which, as you said, 100 to 400K on average for a single point. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thomas Lumena, thanks for coming up and sharing this with us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lumena Litz and Thomas Hall, everybody from QB Business Solutions, talking about warranty reimbursement. Sounds like a pretty important process that should be on your radar. And if it's not, it needs to be. So I appreciate them coming on to share that. I'm Ryan Girardi. We're going to go and wrap this up again. This is our monthly Fixed Ops Strategies webcast panel discussion. We do this towards the end of every month. You're welcome to be a part of this. You can come on and participate as a panelist, just like Thomas and Lumena. Maybe you have maybe you have an idea or a best practice or something to share that you'd like to share with the community, you're welcome to come and do that. You can come on and be on here as an attendee and just interact and be part of the conversation as well. This is an open forum for fixed ops leaders, managers, and marketers as well. Get yourself registered. Go to autoconversion.net. Look under auto retail. You'll see fixed op strategy. This is one of 6 different auto retail marketing webcast programs that we do every month. Each of them requires its own one-time registration. Once you're registered for that series, you're automatically invited to participate as an attendee or a panelist. They typically go live at the top of the hour, 2:00 Central. And we usually get started behind the scenes a little bit earlier as well. Just one last reminder. Before I forget, these are also recorded. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you get the links to these recordings. They're also featured on the AutoConverse podcast. Great podcast listening material. So be sure to subscribe to the AutoConverse podcast. Tomorrow we have Vladimir Kovacevic from Innovatech coming on to talk about with us about evolving lending technologies and how that's reshaping the way consumers transact in private automotive sales. That's on the Mobility Tech and Connectivity Show tomorrow at 2:00 Central. I'm Ryan Girardi. Have a great rest of the day. We're going to go ahead and shut down. Lumena and Tom, you can just hang tight for 1 minute while I close this down. That'd be great.
All right, thanks.